Hi everyone, welcome back. If I sound sick, it's because I am. I've been sick for the last week or so. But today, I'm going to introduce you to a legend. If you're just joining me, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Please subscribe if you can. Tell your friends. Word of mouth is one of the best ways to spread one of these things around. Sharing on social media, stuff like that. I will try to do better about replying to comments and stuff. I do appreciate those as much as you can imagine. But today, I'm not at home. I'm at my brother's house. And I'm reuniting with a legend. And if you've been around the short track racing scene in the Connecticut area for the last 20 years, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. And you're going to know exactly, exactly what I mean. There she is. Affectionately known as Big Blue. I think it's a Chevy G30. I can't remember. We'll figure it out before we go too much further. Again, please, I am sick. So if I do not come across very well, that's just kind of part of it. But anyway, for the last, I don't know how long we've owned this thing, 15, 20 years. My dad owned this and we towed my brother's car to the racetrack on this trailer. Well, I need to press this thing back into service. So not for racing, but for other uses. But I figured it'd be a worthwhile excuse for me to introduce it to the viewing public. But it's been sitting for, I don't even know how long. She's looking pretty haggard. It's probably been at least a year or more since it's run. Yeah. I know my brother was using it for some parcel delivery, personal vehicle stuff for his job. But it's been kind of just languishing. We don't have any plans of getting rid of her, but we also don't want her to sit too long, or else, vehicles sit too long, they go bad. So my job today is to just get this thing running so that my wife can use it. She's going to be doing a clean out with it, and we can't do that with our personal cars because they're too small. And this thing is quite big. So let's take a tour around it and I'll show you exactly what we got in here. Oh, that's frozen. And might be impossible to do one-handed. That's better. Oh, I didn't see this before. Chrome alternator. Nice. Chrome gets you home. All right, so what we got in here is Chevy 350 Turbo 400, I believe, transmission. Yep, I got a battery for it. I don't think it's the right one, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I tried to find the right battery, but there's slim pickings. Like I said, Chevy 350, Turbo 400. That's kind of iffy at best. Holly carb, I think it's only a 2-barrel on a, let me see, phenolic resin. Yep. Just an old racing spacer. This is all just cobbled together with little racing parts and some stock garbage that we had hanging around. And what is this? You know what? I don't even know if I want to know. I have no idea. I know I did this. This is genius. Power steering line blew on it and he needed to work. And I'm like, well, we got this hard line. Or I just stick that in the power steering box. Works. Comes off of the booster for the hydromatic system. Or hydrostatic. I don't know what the hell you call it. But anyway, lot of mouse stuff in here. All right, why don't we move around somewhere else? Oh, we definitely ditched the factory seat out of this thing for some captain's chairs that we found in the neighbor's cleanup pile in the spring. These are much more soft and plush and have armrests that are completely covered in mouse poop. Let's see. Yeah, factory molded, disgusting. Oh God, I think that's, yeah. Steering wheel. This is all the way it used to be. You know, there's no blinkers on it. You got to move this thing, and you know, the light switches, and my dad would just label everything because we put rear spotlights and heater fans, and here's the wiper switch. I don't know. Oh, it is much worse in here than I thought. Just in a cleanliness aspect. All right, let's see if I don't fall through the floor. All right. Here's our back bay area. Got some nice shelving. This is where the toolbox used to be. Not there no more, obviously. That's where the old seat, that actually is the old seat. I don't know where the pad went for it, but mice probably ate the whole thing. Who knows? Oh, there's the other seat too. Look at that. More shelves. Just a real nice shelving system in here regardless. It used to be a chimney sweep truck, and then we bought it for like $1,500 or whatever, and used it ever since. We put these shelves in it for racing stuff and nice workbench and such. When we didn't have an enclosed trailer, this was what we had. We just kind of stood in here. Granted, it's a little short, but what are you gonna do? You know, there's still parts for the race car sitting in here, even though we haven't used it in a long time. I mean, we even had this pegboard little cabinet here. Let's see what's in. Oh God, there's a mouse active in there. That's an actual mouse. I wasn't worried about the mouse. I was worried about the house. That little guy can get lost. That thing, that's just bad. All right, little guy, you're gonna go for a ride with me later. Okay. All right, so with the doghouse off, you can see it's just a standard old Chevy 350. I don't know what they put in here because I know my dad had the engine rebuilt before he got sick and passed away, but it runs way better than it used to now. I mean, it used to have the number 6 cylinder used to foul constantly because there was a cylinder head gasket leak, and we just never fixed it because it was too small to worry about. So we just, every time we went to take the car to the track, we would just change this number 6 spark plug out, because we always had a plethora of spark plugs from the race motor that we used to keep in a little bin right here. And we just pop it out, throw a new one in, and drive the truck up to the racetrack. And then we would do it all over again the next week. Okay. There we go. Uh-oh. Okay, so new problem. Which one is which? Well, let's see. This one's a black cable, and this one is a black cable, and I have no idea which one is which. This is a problem because if you don't know, then you burn your rig down and you just walk away, or you warm yourself on the smoldering ashes of your former vehicle. So yeah, let's figure that out. That's good enough, and I don't see any sparks or fire starting yet, and I smell nothing. So I think we're gonna pop the lid off, and we're just gonna go straight to ether, not even try anything else, because I'm very impatient and I got to get this thing out of here. So we're just gonna spin her over and just get to business. See if I remember what key it is. I don't even know if that's a radio station anymore. I think it is. No, actually, I don't even know. I don't think so. Let's see if this works. Holy crap, the wipers are on. All right, so, there we go, now they're off. Does it even have gas? No. Let's see if I can pump it. Absolutely not. All right, so no pump. Let's just do that until there's fire directly in my face. I think either the battery's dead or the engine's locked up. Well, we'll try one or the other. Just kind of bash on it a bit. And nothing. Still nothing. Nothing. No, nothing. Oh, well, I know there was a problem with this starter now that I think about it. And I'm thinking now we're probably going to have to change that. It's funny how things come back to you once you start working on them after a while. I can remember my brother saying, hey, there's a issue with the starter, and he wrapped it in a heat blanket because I think it was going bad on him when it got hot. Problem is now it's bad when it's cold too, so that means it's just bad in general. So now I'm gonna go look for a starter and see if I can even change it or not. Who knows? This being sick stuff is terrible. I hate being sick when it's cold out and having to do work. But anyway, we gotta get a starter for that thing, so I'm gonna have to wait until that shows up or they go get one. So, well, until that happens. Well, I was gonna try to finish that video off, but then I kind of got COVID. So that's annoying. I wanted to get that truck video finished and out for you guys because it's been a few weeks and I just haven't been able to do anything because I had the flu, got over it, started working on that truck, and then a couple nights later I couldn't smell anything. So I took a COVID test and said, hey, by the way, you got COVID, dummy. Okay. So it only took me 3 years to get that. And today's the first day in a week that I've kind of felt like I could get up and go do something because I'm really, really bored. So I think I'm going to try to get the roof back in the shop, put it back on the race car, see how far I can go with work until I can't work no more. Because obviously you can hear it in my voice, I am still sick. I tested yesterday and I was still positive for COVID, so hopefully that'll go away soon. That would be nice, but I'm just bored. There's only so much I can take with sitting around and doing nothing. I was working on this thing and trying to get it ready for the roof and for a bunch of other stuff like shocks and other parts before I felt like crap and I went inside and then realized I had COVID. So I'm like, so this is kind of a two-subject video. The first half was going to be the truck, and I'll get back to the truck, trust me, that'll come again. My brother got the starter for it and then he got COVID. Sorry. But we'll get something done and I'll get a video out to you guys. So today we're gonna change gears, we're gonna get the roof back in here, and we're gonna get that on the car. And I'm gonna try to work until I can sweat COVID out, basically. After a great deal of exertion and being unable to breathe, it's essentially in place. I gotta get the supports put in the back, but I can't find my pop rivets. So that might be another journey out to the trailer to see if I can't find those, because I got it lined up with the roof mounts on all four corners. Once I get those set, I can start setting the rear supports up, and I can start setting the windshield in and all the other supports that hold it on. But kind of need my pop rivets, and I can't find them. They're usually in the bottom of my toolbox. Rivets are found. They were under the toolbox. But I got the roof riveted on, nice and tight. They ain't going nowhere. So now that I got those found, I can get this back support system put in. If you can't tell, I'm kind of sucking wind because, you know, COVID. Now you can see it's kind of flimsy and floppy, and I cut these support bars off of the old clip. So I'm going to take those and just kind of shove them underneath and try to get them fitted to where they should be, and then we can line that up. Quick tech tip, see these little pins? You can buy these at like Tractor Supply in the hardware aisle. What I do is if I need some kind of a hood pin or whatever, I just take one, drill it out to the hole I need, kind of stick it up against where I need it, close the lid and put the hood pin through it, and then come underneath it, and I just tack it to the bar or support or wherever you need it, and voila, you got an easy hood pin. And there we have it. A little tight. Something so easy somebody with COVID could do it. Watch. Pins. Now some of you might have noticed this, and I'll show it because it's not really that important, but it is if you want to work on your own stuff. You might have noticed the difference in the shock towers. This side's got some plates welded to it and a hole cut out. This side is still stock because I didn't get to it yet. But what we do with these is we still run stock shocks. And this, you can tell, is a little thin because it was rusty and sitting outside forever. So I made the executive decision to plate where the shocks mount so that I could at least have a nice solid mounting surface to put them on. It's not really for any other reason. I also cut the hole out because we set our shocks above the stock mounting point instead of below it because of ride height issues, and you'll bottom your shock out. It's basically just to save money. It's not for any real geometry purposes. It's so you don't bottom out your shock. That would be bad. But I'm going to be doing that to that side at some point, and I think I'm going to redesign how I do this. Usually I would just weld a bolt in, but I think I'm just going to put a regular bolt in and put a bunch of other bolts or nuts in as washers and space it up that way. That way, if I break a bolt, at least I can change it on the fly a lot easier. For right now, though, I think I'm just going to set the body to the chassis by riveting it into the mounting bars that I just put in. And I'm going to also put the plate back in the rear window. That kind of ties those two together. So there ain't there ain't no lie. I am still sick, but man, it feels good to be out here and sweating it off by working instead of sitting there and doing nothing but be a lump on my couch all day. I'm not that kind of person. I do not like sitting around when I'm sick. I like to just get stuff done. I don't even care if I have to go to work, but apparently they don't want me going to work with COVID, so not great. All right, so I got to clean up a couple more things to get the body mounted, and then I'm going to hold off doing the very back part here because I need the tail put back on for that. And I don't really have a nice fancy new one. I'll probably just reuse the old one. I'll probably just put a new nose on instead because that's kind of important. So let's start fitting the patch panel that I made and see if that fits, and then we'll move from there. I think I've done all I can do for today. I am tired and I'm starting to get hungry. And I'd like to actually relax a little bit so I don't completely overdo it. And I have to go back inside and order a new tripod. Because obviously in the time lapse you saw it fall down twice and now it's broken. Anyway, thank you all so much. I appreciate it. Nice short little video for you today to get back in the shop, but also a little explanation of why I haven't been posting videos. And you can tell that I'm not doing that great, but I'm not doing that bad either. So I can't complain. I'm still standing. And I'll be back with more videos as soon as I get better. I still got a ton to do, as you can plainly see. We got to get a body back on this thing, and I need to find a nose for this car, so I got to put one of those on order. But until next time, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Please subscribe, because that helps me a ton. Tell your friends, word of mouth, and all your racing buddies helps me grow, and that's what I want to do. I want to grow this thing so that I maybe I can race full time again someday. We'll see. But thank you all again for watching. I greatly appreciate it. I'm gonna go inside and rest, I think.